And we are back on our episode of NBA 2K14 and the last episode yesterday as the Chicago Bulls crushed the Memphis Grizzlies by 18 points, 112 to 94. As you see, Derrick Rose got 24 points with 6 assists, Marc Gasol got 23, and Mike Conley got 12 and 10 in a huge night for Chicago as they take an easy victory against the Memphis Grizzlies. The presentation is ready, and now coming up next is the Interconference Another matchup featuring two of the Eastern Conference and the West matchup featuring Paul George of the Indiana Pacers take on Dwight Howard of the Houston Rockets. That will be a good one here. That's the second matchup of the day between those two. First met won by Rockets by 8, 107 to 99. Hopefully there will be same result here in Toyota Center. For this game, the Pacers gonna use the blue and Rockets gonna use the white. So that'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin. We'll be right back after this. Enjoy the video in Toyota Center in Houston. Anyways, we are going to send to Kevin Harlan here at the H-Town in Toyota Center. Anyways, let's get started. Enjoy the video. Here we go. Now, enjoy.
Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Damon Bruce. Glad to have you with us. It's Friday night basketball. It's going to be the Indiana Pacers up against the Houston Rockets. And that's it for now. Let's send you out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. Enjoy the first half. We'll see you soon.
Greetings, everyone. 2K Sports brings you the NBA. This is Kevin Harlan. I'm joined by Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr as we get set to bring you all the action. It's Indiana facing the Houston Rockets. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. And one of the guys we'll be seeing in this one, James Harden.
Well, the number one priority for a defense when you face this guy is to keep him getting anywhere from the basket because he's just so strong as a finisher.
Steve, it has to be said here that he operates the pick and roll to perfection. I mean, he delights in running unwitting defenders or blindside picking guys so that he can end up rolling into a basket.
Chandler Parsons is back. It's good to see him healthy and ready to go.
Tell you what, you got to give the Houston Rockets a lot of credit, guys. After losing their franchise players to injury and age back in '09, they've managed to rebuild this team without tanking for lottery picks or going all the way to the bottom of the heap. Very impressive.
The drive by Granger, and he banks in the layup.
And there's the first bucket of the game.
Yeah, that's a nice tone setter out of the gate.
Here's Harden, and they cash in right away with a quick shot. And for the Rockets, they've been very shrewd acquiring undervalued players, trading for draft picks. Steve all in the hopes of swinging big trades for superstars.
Well, and then when they acquired James Harden, they finally got a cornerstone player. Now all of a sudden you throw in Dwight Howard, you've got another foundational player. So all these years of tinkering and trading and moving picks and moving players, it's finally paid off, and now he's got the team he was hoping to put together.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Well, Kevin McHale had a few moments for me. They'll be up against one of the true giants of the league in Roy Hibbert. And he talked about how impressed he is with Hibbert's dedication to improving his game, saying he's gotten better year after year. And now is one of the guys you have to account for, really at both ends of the floor. Defensively, you've got to get low and try to root him out of the paint. And then on offense, we'll probably look to put him in pick and rolls to test his mobility. Seems like a smart strategy, guys. We'll see how they do.
Thank you, Doris. Here is Harden. After Danny Granger's bucket. Lynn kicks to Howard. He's against Hibbert. Baseline jumper. And they're going to pop the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
His footwork in the low post is tremendous, almost ballerina-like.
And the Rockets making a change here. Brooks checked in.
Well, you know, for Dwight Howard, guys, I think it had to be a really tough decision to leave the Lakers. But ultimately, he decided he just didn't like the fit that was carved out for him there. A disappointing performance for the team last season. There seems to be a lot of infighting and drama and dysfunction. He just decided he was ready for a new start.
Now here's Howard. He's coming off a 28-point game against Orlando. Here's Lynn. Buries the long-range jumper. Lynn's got his second basket of the night.
Pleasure to watch watch him work at that end of the floor.
And for Howard last season with the Lakers, it was surprising how Kobe and even Mike D'Antoni publicly questioned Dwight when he sat out some games with injury, but we know that he was debilitated with various ailments all year long.
Yeah, that's normally not done, Kevin, certainly not in public anyway, and that may have been kind of the straw that broke the camel's back as far as Dwight's decision to move on from L.A.
Brooks outside. And that comes off the assist by Dwight Howard. Brooks has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for three. Hill drives in, and that one's good. For the Houston Rockets, they come in off a good outing against the Magic in Orlando.
How about the box score from that game? The accuracy from the three-point line, just remarkable.
Yeah, it was a stream of threes that allowed them to repeatedly deflate that crowd.
Here is Hill, following the basket by Dwight Howard. George passes to Hill. Stolen by Jeremy Lin. And they're pushing it up. Ashok brings recovering. That puts them in the lead.
Even with the D lurking, he made it look easy with the soft finger roll.
So the Pacers call timeout. Their first of the game. Last time they met was in Indiana.
You know, it was a little bit surprising that the game got away from them because for long stretches, they were the better team.
They really were. Outplayed them. If you looked only at the stat sheet, you'd have a hard time figuring out how they lost it. But it was a case of a few intangibles that didn't play out in their favor that made all the difference.
The Pacers making a switch here. Mahinmi's checked in for Hibbert. Scola comes in for David West. Chris Copeland's checked in for Danny Granger. Lance Stevenson subbed in for Paul George. Here's Copeland. Now here's Brooks. That's good. Brooks has got 5.
I don't know how they're going to keep this pace up. Both teams on fire here early.
And playing the game on rollerblades, too.
Stevenson dishes to Scola. That is good. 51 seconds left to play here in the first. And Beverly kicks to Brooks. Houston moving it around. And there's the feed to Beverly. Here's Monty Eunice. And another three for Houston. Looking at the last game for the Indiana Pacers, it was a loss to the Bobcats.
And that result was no surprise, Clark, because they played very loose with the ball that night.
Yeah, they were carefree. Footloose and fancy-free with the ball doesn't get it done. And how often do we see it, Steve? The team that loses the turnover battle loses the game.
And so here is Houston after the three-pointer from Watson. Poke loose. It's 2-on-1. And Beverly kicks to Caspi. And it's off the back rim. No good. Now Stevenson. 1 second left. And the layup is up and in. Stevenson's got his first points of the night.
Man, a gaping hole in the defense that time, and he didn't waste any time getting through it.
Well, it's been a high-scoring competitive game through the first quarter of play. The Rockets on top, up 2. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment.
Tune in next Tuesday night, March 11th. Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks go up against Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors. Don't miss it.
So far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Rockets.
Well, I'll tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
And they're sharing the ball, too, which I love. They're piling up the assist and seeing great offensive movement.
On the court for the Pacers as our second quarter gets underway. Hill is out there with Scola. And there's Ian Mahinmi. That's Lance Stevenson, and it's Johnson in at the 2 spot. Rockets leading by 3.
And you know, you talk about Frank Vogel, guys, and the Pacers. It seemed he won over his roster from the moment he took over. He placed a lot of confidence and trust in his players, and most importantly, brought a breath of positivity and positive energy to that locker room and to that team.
Stevenson passes to Hill. He kicks it to Scola, and that one's good. Scola's got his second bucket tonight. Houston's gotten on a roll from three-point land. They've been flawless. 6 for 6 tonight. Took him no time at all on that one. And back to Vogel, he really helped instill the identity of this Pacers team with toughness and defense and, Steve, that willingness to battle.
Yeah, it's a perfect fit with their personnel. The way he motivates this team to defend and play with that edge. I just love this group, the Pacers team, the talent along with Frank Vogel. Just a really nice fit.
Just about a minute and a half has gone by here in the second. The finger roll finish at the bucket. Scola's got 8 points.
8 of the last 10 points at that end of the court have been scored on very high percentage shots in the paint.
And it's not necessarily strategic, Mark. It's just a matter of playing with more heart. Got to play hard, guys. Well, it looks like he's finally found his footing in this game. His first quarter was a real struggle, but he's gotten it going now.
They set the pick. Johnson kicks to Hill. That's good, and it's Johnson with the assist. Hill's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Most any NBA player can make you pay when you leave them that wide open. That's why you have to stay alert on defense.
Got that one up quick. And the Rockets lead by 4.
The D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been of the three-point variety.
Yeah, and unless they make some rotations and closeouts defensively, there's more to come, Clark. Well, we've seen that more than a few times. An easy bucket in the lane.
Yeah, the interior defense simply has been lifeless.
So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Roy Hibbert's checked in for Mahimi. West comes in for Luis Scola. Danny Granger is checked in for Hill. And it's George in for Orlando Johnson.
This switch has definitely been flipped to on this quarter, guys. Well, you know, prior to last season, there were several teams that considered trading for James Harden. There was a question, though, over how much they were prepared to give up. And some questioned if he could be the first option on the team. That question's been answered.
Harden draws the double. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. In the season before last, Harden won 6th Man of the Year. But, guys, do you think that because Harden came off the bench in Oklahoma City, that some underestimated his talent?
Well, I don't think anybody underestimated his talent. I think it was pretty apparent what he could do. But, you know, scouts have watched him ever since his Arizona State days. You can see he has star potential, and now he's getting the opportunity in Houston to fulfill that. How
about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin.
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
Well, that's how you send it. 2 hands and hammer it down.
Lynn kicks to Parsons. Back to Lynn. Harden dishes to Howard. And the bank shot is good. Howard's got 8 points. Pacers trail by 4. Hill passes to West. The turnaround Jay. Good. The assist goes to Hill.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from inside the paint area.
The defense has to make an adjustment. They've got to string together some stops, or at the very least, try to force this team into some bad shots.
And Brooks is checked in for James Harden. And that one's good. Brooks.
Beautiful feed off the bounce to his teammate there. Nicely done.
Indiana's gotten off 4 shots from 3-point range tonight and buried every one of them. Hill against Lynn. And George kicks to Granger. And Indiana, another 3.
Right back at you. They immediately get those 3 points back.
Trading punches, that's how you answer.
Parsons outside, gives him the lead pass, and stolen by Hibbert. Now the Pacers moving it up. George with the ball, and it's Hill with the jam.
textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yes, beautiful transition play for the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
And it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
And there's a whistle. That goes on Jeremy Lin. That's his first foul. Hill dishes to George. And the Pacers another three.
Finding the open man every trip down the floor. Certainly seems like he's doing that, Steve. I mean, it's been a great passing day for him.
It's stolen by Hill. With the teardrop, that's good. Now it's a 3-point Indiana lead.
Boy, that was impressive, Clark. He did not hesitate to take the ball right up against the bigger defender.
Boy, I like that aggressive mindset there, Steve.
And the shot is good. 9 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Pass to Granger. Jacks up a three. And the Pacers another three. Here's Lin. He just knocked down the buzzer beater.
That's large to end the half. That three ties it up, and they'll go to the break still neck and neck.
So the clock runs out with the score tied going into halftime. And it's time now for the Sprint Halftime Show with Damon Bruce. We'll be back shortly to get the second half underway.
Now, presented by Sprint.
This is 2K Sports, and I'm Damon Bruce, coming to you live on a Friday night. The Rockets putting up one heck of a fight. They've dialed in from long range an incredible shooting performance from outside. James Harden not having any difficulty scoring against Indiana. He's got 12 points, and his field goal percentage has been great. A lot of high-quality looks. Good overall. Also, though, for the Pacers. One look at their field goal percentage says it all. They're scoring at will. Danny Granger with a phenomenal first half. The buckets are coming for him at a tremendous rate. He's really dialed in. Checking out some of the games still in progress. Out at American Airlines Center, the Mavericks in a tightly contested game against Portland. Things are even in the second quarter. And another game going on. For the Atlanta Hawks, they have the lead against the Warriors over at Oracle Arena. Up big in the fourth quarter. Looks like it's going to go in their favor. And to look now at the rest of the action from around the NBA. The Utah Jazz trailing New York out in New York. That one just all but wrapped up in the fourth. Now let's head back out to the start of the second half. Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, take it away.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game.
Danny Granger had a great quarter. He has 14 points, and he's picked up 6 points from behind the arc.
His outside stroke has looked really good today.
He's got a minute. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade. All fueled up for the second half. So on the floor for Houston, it's Asik paired up in the front court with Howard. On either wing, Harden and Parsons. And it's Lin in at the ball.
Well, you know, guys, the Houston fans could be forgiven for not having heard of Umir Asik when the Rockets signed. Him as their starting center a season ago. He was a second-round pick out of Turkey in 08, a backup in Chicago, but he's quickly shown himself to be a key piece of this promising young core.
An unusual skill set for a big man. A long-range shot gives you such good spacing offensively.
And George kicks to Granger. And Asik with the block. Here's Parsons. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. Parsons got 5 points so far. And you have to give the Rockets credit for going after Asha, a player who never averaged more than 15 minutes a game with Chicago, a restricted free agent with the Bulls, and became a very important part for the Rockets.
So they clearly saw something special. What a huge play.
I don't know that this... This is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatic.
Oh, come on. Harden had to go for it, didn't he?
I'm with you, Kevin. You can't fault him for that. I mean, just let him go. Who cares?
From deep Harden, and another three for Houston.
Well, it seems like when they're gone to him, it's really come through. And that's not something they should get away from.
Timeout called the Pacers.
You look at Harden's career, he was a gifted scorer at Arizona State, but with a slow start in his rookie season, and playing with 2 of the best players in the league in Oklahoma City, people seem to forget that he's always been a player who can light it up.
Gets it to go. 8 points for Paul George.
Their second half has started quite well. They've been good on 3 of their first 4 attempts.
Harden working against George. Fades. And it's Houston with another. And James Harden, the first ever draft pick by the Oklahoma City Thunder after the move from Seattle, certainly. To see him go so soon in his NBA career as he was reaching stardom had to be tough for fans. And we know Clark certainly for his team.
I agree wholeheartedly there, Kevin. Think of all the fans who wore fake beards on their faces, even buildings in OKC with beards adorning them. So Harden wasn't just a great player, his image was almost a mascot for the team as well.
Well, look at Steve. He's got the fake Harden beard on right next to us. I mean, geez.
Here's the beard.
Johnson, the pass to Hibbert. There's the dish to Copeland. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. Copeland's got his first basket of the night.
They've got to continue to put pressure on the defense. How about that basketball, man? Wow.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right. Those are phenomenal dunks to watch. So much fun.
Outside, Garcia. Here's Parsons, and it's Houston with another.
I think he shot the ball well, guys, but I don't think he shot it enough. The more shots he gets from here on out, the more they'll stretch out this lead.
Watson kicks to Hibbert. Working on Howard. Hibbert dishes to Watson. And the Pacers another 3.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. As we approach the playoffs, let's now take a look at what is shaping up in the West. Taking a look at Houston. They've continued to play strong basketball, if not utterly dominant, as the last part of the season grinds toward the playoffs. And it looks like, guys, they'll hold on to that #1 spot the whole way there. And, of course, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're just sitting 1 spot down, right on their heels.
Checking out Houston, they've continued their breakout season. I mean, they've showed tremendous promise thus far, and I'm looking for big things from this team.
Yeah, Clark, as the postseason approaches, there's plenty of optimism. But, the playoffs are a whole different animal. Let's see if they can continue that momentum.
Indiana making some changes. David West, he's checked in from a unit. Granger comes in for Luis Scola. And Orlando Johnson subbed in for Lance Stevenson. Here's Beverly. West with some nice D. Pacers trail by 5. Feeds it to Johnson. Smith with the block. 1:15 left in the third. Johnson against Brooks. Dishes it to Casper. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks. Brooks has got his 4th assist in this one.
And the threes continue to go down at that end with almost nothing happening from deep at the other.
But the way to turn that around is defensively. into a shootout.
Breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for Houston.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
And something else they've excelled at is their interior defense. A lot of blocked shots for them tonight.
This is a tremendous solo run he's on. I mean, the kind we've seen him have so many times before.
Pass to Beverly. He feeds it to Moniunas. And Caspi dips to Moniunas. That's the 3-5. And another 3 for Houston.
We've seen a few mix-ups defensively out there on the perimeter.
More than a few. I mean, the open looks they've allowed from long range have turned into a lot of points.
Johnson gets the bucket. Rockets leading by 9. Here's Beverly. A stupendous finish in traffic. Beverly's got his 3rd bucket of the night. Here comes George. 8 points for him. Plenty of daylight on that shot.
Pretty passing. Timely recognition as to where the open man was.
Here's Beverly. Takes it into the teeth of the knee and converts the layup. Beverly's got 7 now in this quarter.
How about that? He's given up. It's attitude with him.
And as we end the 3rd quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Rockets lead by 10. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The 4th quarter is coming up next.
Tune in Wednesday, March 12th. Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors take on Chris Paul and the Los Angeles Clippers. A conference battle in the West. It's the real deal.
And we welcome you back to the NBA here on 2K Sports. If you're just tuning in, this is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And we're ready to get going once more. The players having a chance to have a short break and get some rest themselves and get refueled and hydrated with some Gatorade. More terrific basketball in store for us tonight. On the court for Indiana, Stevenson and George on the wings. Danny Granger out there with West. And it's Hill at the point guard position. The pass to Stevenson. And it's sent back by Howard. Harden the pass to Parsons. It's stolen by Hill. And now here's George, the fast break opportunity. It's blocked. Harden dishes to Parsons. The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. They get Danny Granger.
Tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I think he did plenty of damage anyway. It was only with one hand, but he threw it down pretty hard.
Roy Hibbert's checked in for Indiana. It's Howard with the drive. Here's Hushik. And that comes off the assist by Dwight Howard. Howard's got 4 assists now tonight.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Yeah, that's textbook basketball. Just having their way down low.
Pacers trail by 17. And here's Hill for 3. And the Pacers can't get it to go.
Well, they're fortunate. The defense was taking a big chance leaving him that wide open behind the arc.
Harden kicks to Parsons. Houston moving the ball around. Hayden goes. That's 12 points here for Lynn.
I love the flow that they've been playing with offensively tonight. This is an impressive performance.
Well, and that lead they have just continues to grow and grow.
I'll tell you what, he's enjoyed a very good day shooting the ball so far. He can bring them right back into this.
Houston leading by 17. Harden the pass to Howard. Shakes off the strong D and gets the bucket for 2. Howard's got 20 points.
Tell you what, he takes a lot of punishment inside. When Howard gets the ball in deep, defenses are looking to foul him hard because of the difficulties at the free throw line.
And he's a devastating finisher when you let him power it up to throw it down. He's a former dunk contest champ, Steve, so you give him a chance to do that, he'll make you part of his highlight reel. He's putting on a commanding performance here. He's hit 2 3-pointers in each half now.
It's Harden with the drive. Count the bucket. 23 points in the game.
And now we can see them really working it inside.
Taking advantage of the defense, really pounding it down low.
Stevenson kicks it to West. And he drops it in from the low post.
One of the reasons they're behind is because we haven't seen enough of that. He needs to become a bigger part of the offense.
And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2.
Some outstanding numbers in this one for Harden. He has 23 points, and from downtown, he's buried 3 3-pointers.
Yeah, when he's been able to get squared up and get a good look at the basket, it seems like everything's been going in.
Paul George, he's checked in for Lance Stevenson. Both shots good from the stripe. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Always going up for the alley-oop here. And that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession. Here's Hill. Back to Granger. Just 3 to shoot. And again, it's Indiana.
And he's made the most of his chances, hasn't he? He really needs to continue to work for those good looks.
And Ashik throws it down.
Well, that just adds to what's probably an already insurmountable lead. I think they'll be walking out of here with a pretty easy victory.
Steve, I think that's a given.
Here's Hibbert. Good. The assist goes to Hill. 7 points for Roy Hibbert.
The soft finger roll is just one of the many finishing moves he has in his bag of shot making.
Gets the bucket. And the Rockets lead by 20.
I like the way they've played here in the first half. Just an intelligent floor game, getting good shots.
Numbers certainly back that up. They're shooting a much better percentage.
Granger kicks to Hibbert. Granger with the screen for Hibbert. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Hibbert's got 4 points this quarter.
Nice touch near the hoop.
And it's Howard finishing it off.
And tack on a few more points to the lead. Why not? I suppose this is... an emphatic showing for this club.
And Steve, they did it in style, a beat down the entire way.
Hill kicks to George. He passes it to Granger. And Ashik with the block.
Such a solid performance for them inside. The rebounding has been terrific.
Yeah, that's just one of the few things that have gone their way today.
All the points these defenders are allowing inside is inexcusable. That's 5 baskets in a row, and they've all been practically lay-ins.
Yeah, they've got to harden and toughen up down there, guys.
Here's Granger, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That's on Dwight Howard.
You know, with all the hype and insanity he got during Jeremy Lin's breakout season, it didn't really do him any favors on the court. In fact, I think you could easily argue that he's been playing with a target on his back for opposing guards who would like to have a big game against a star like Lin.
So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. 3 for Caspi, and the basket good.
Well, if it wasn't already out of reach, it is now thanks to this spurt.
Just keep on firing, man. No reason to slow down now.
Kicks it to Granger. Defended by Caspi. Shot to stop the run, and that one's good. And getting back to Jeremy Lin, I think with the attention he got in his breakout season, it also brings players wanting to measure themselves against you. So let's see how good this guy really is.
Yeah, that's part of it. But I think if you ask Jeremy, he'd rather be playing and having that challenge than, have it the way it was before when nobody knew who he was or really respected his game.
Johnson dishes to Hill. That's in there. Johnson with the assist. Brooks with it. So you see the Rockets taking the win here. You know, Clark, every team has a bad night. These guys might want to watch the tape of this game the next time they have a bad night. Remind themselves how dominant they can be.
Well, this is one of those dream-like games for a coach.
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll see you next time. And now, our Jordan player of the game, James Harden.
Despite the second quarter, the Pacers trying to come back for a fight back, but in the fourth quarter as well, the Rockets completely ended the run with a huge dominant win for the Rockets, defeat the Pacers 120-97. James Harden got 27 points with 8 assists, Dwight Howard got 24, and Danny Granger got 28 in a huge night for the Houston Rockets. Is defeat the Indiana Pacers, who still have the first seat in the race. So here's the games they're skipping for Saturday night. So we got Bobcats, Grizzlies, Knicks, Cavaliers, Jazz, Sixers, Wizards, Bucks, Magic, Spurs, and Hawks, Clippers. 6 NBA games together right now. We'll simulate all games for that, and you can wrap up. Grizzlies, Knicks, Sixers, Wizards, Magic. How about that? It's on the Spurs and the Clippers. Okay, not bad. I know that will be easy here. That will be easy to stun. Unbelievable. That will be huge. Let's check out the other games. Grizzlies won as Zach Randolph and Marc Gasol got 9 rebounds. Kemba Walker got 25. Knicks beat the Cavaliers. Bennett got 28. And Bynum Irving got double-double. Anthony got 23. Stoudemire got 24. Smith and Felton each got 20. 23 and 9 and 7 for Jason Richardson. Spencer Hawes got 12 and 10. Trey Burke got 17. Wizards beat the Bucks despite Giannis got triple-double. Nuke Ridnar got 24. Brandy Bill got 23. Nene got 17 and 12. Magic stunned the Spurs. We got Tony Parker got 32. And each player, Bussy Beach and Aflalo, got 22. And 4 players are 8 rebounds. Clippers beat the Hawks, and Griffin got 40 points. Crawford got 28. Cole got 26-11. Millsap got 29-10. Williams got 27. And Brand got 20. And time to move on March 9 here. We got our Wednesday night. We are from tomorrow night or tomorrow. We're off the United Center. We got the Eastern Conference rival once again. Miami Heat take on Chicago Bulls. And our Thursday, we're off the Staples Center. Oklahoma City Thunder take on Los Angeles Lakers. Nuggets, Pelicans, Pistons, Celtics, Kings, Nets, Blazers, Rockets, Raptors, Timberwolves, Suns, Warriors, and Pacers, Mavericks. That will be a good one here in the NBA. So check out some power rankings. Miami and Chicago remains the top 2. Houston, Oklahoma, Clippers, Lakers, Grizzlies, Warriors, Spurs, and remain Dallas are the top 10. In the playoff picture, there's no how to get the playoff spot. We got Chicago, Detroit, Philadelphia, Indiana, Washington, Atlanta, and Milwaukee. And the hunt, Orlando, Brooklyn, Toronto, Charlotte, Boston, and New York. and Miami already clinched that first team made it to the playoffs. On the other hand, in the West, Houston, OKC, San Antonio, Clippers, Lakers, Golden State, Memphis, Dallas, and the hunt was Portland, Minnesota. That will be in good one. That will be tomorrow once again, or another solo game Wednesday night. So that will be wrap up here tonight, here in Toyota Center. And next game, we're up the United Center in Chicago. The Eastern Conference rivalry once again, featuring the two of MVP Rice, LeBron James of the Miami Heat take on Derrick Rose of the Chicago Bulls. A final matchup of the day. You know the last matchup on the third game. You saw LeBron James hit the game-winning shot at the buzzer with the red release, with the Heat won 3-0 over the season series against Chicago. Will the Heat trying to sweep, or the Bulls trying to avoid the sweep in the season series against the Heat? And followed by the second game, actually it's not second game, followed by Thursday game, we're off to Staples Center in Los Angeles, another Western Conference battle. We got Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook of the Oklahoma City Thunder take on Kobe Bryant and Pau Gasol along with Steve Nash of the Los Angeles Lakers. That'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin, and now the OKC Thunder are now in the lead in the NBA Finals, 3-2 against the Indiana Pacers. And Thunder are now one win away for the first NBA title in franchise history since relocation from Seattle Supersonics in 2008. That will be next Friday night in the Philippines, and Thursday was the United States due to the time zones. That will be fine. So that'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin as the Houston Rockets defeat the Indiana Pacers by 23, 120-97. This is Andre Kenshin. Say so long for Toyota Center. We'll see you tomorrow for the Miami Heat and the Chicago Bulls. Sign up and peace out. Good night, and reminder, we'll see you tomorrow on Wednesday night. One game once again. We're off to United Center in Chicago for the Miami Heat and the Chicago Bulls, and followed by Thursday game here back to Staples Center for the Oklahoma City Thunder take on the Los Angeles Lakers. Sign up and peace out. Good night, and we'll see you tomorrow for Miami and Chicago, and I accidentally hit the button, sorry. Sign up and peace out. Good night.